you.
How are you doing? We are so glad to be together with you.
It is a pleasure for me to be with you all. Thank you very much.
You are welcome. And we are so glad to be with you because Istanbul Chamber of Commerce is the second greatest commercial institution around the world. Your point of views, your thoughts are important for us. Would you please share your feelings? And we are in a leadership summit about exponential growth, and your thoughts, your opinions are important for us.
Thank you very much. So, distinguished guests, me as the president of Istanbul Chamber of Commerce, I would like to take this opportunity to extend my warmest regards to all of you from the city Istanbul, one of the greatest influencers of the globe. It is my pleasure to address you who are all major influencers in their areas. As known by many of our guests, Istanbul is one of the world's oldest cities with the past of 8,500 years,
Yes.
Connecting Asia and Europe, joining the East and West, linking the Black Sea and the Mediterranean. Istanbul enjoys really a unique geographical location. With such a strategic position, Istanbul is the only city in the world to have served as a capital of three empires, the Roman, Byzantine, and Ottoman empires for 1600 years.
Yes.
So, hosting various cultures and civilizations, Istanbul managed to become one of the most influential centers for religion, trade, art, history, and tourism, in addition to politics. If I turn back to our chamber, which is established in 1882, one of the world's biggest chambers, the Istanbul Chamber of Commerce represents a grand and deep-rooted city. Istanbul alone generated a gross domestic product of almost $240 billion in 2019. This figure indicates our city's achievement of a gross domestic products that is higher than 12 EU members. Member companies of the Istanbul Chamber of Commerce actually nearly 31% of Turkish GMP, while performing more than 40% of its foreign trade. So, as the engine of Turkish economy, Istanbul also offering huge opportunities to global entrepreneurs. Istanbul enables access to over 50 countries located in Asia, Europe, and Africa through merely 3 or 4 hours flights, which is very big advantage. Such quality renders Istanbul the intersection of 3 continents. Certainly, Istanbul draws its economic strength. It avails to the entrepreneurs from its broad-minded and progressive stance to modern developments and with colossal projects it hosts. I want to give only one sample, if you allow me. The Istanbul airport is now one of the world's largest airport. In conclusion, I would like to express that with its accumulation of 8,500 years, Istanbul is inviting entrepreneurs, investors, and business people with innovative ideas to our glorious future. The city offers them unmatched investment opportunities and profit advantages. Istanbul has an influencer throughout all stages of history, and it owes this to integrating its unique geographical location into a capacity of adapting to changing conditions of the time and acting as a pioneer of change. Now, as an influential city of the digital era, Istanbul extends significant opportunities to you all. I don't have slight doubt that leading influencers, such as yourselves, will be embracing such beauty and opportunity. On that note, I once more send my best regards to you all, and thank you for your attention. And thank you to invite me to this very important meeting.
Sometimes we are expecting everything will be wonderful, but some issues are occurring like we experienced just now. Sorry for that.
Look, I've done many live shows where it's yeah, I've had very similar issues. It's the perks of doing it live. You just never quite know, but everything sounds perfect now.
Thank you, thank you. So you are one of those great leaders of LinkedIn I met. I learn everything every time, many things from you. And we met under posts of Amir Kayal, our dear friends. I appreciate both of you. And I learned many things from many leaders. Some of them are posting only, some of them are supporting others like you do. So, would you please tell us your leadership style and how you decided to start to be on LinkedIn, your LinkedIn journey and adventure?
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure to be at this event, and I'm really excited to hear all the other speakers as well. To answer your question, look, my leadership style revolves around my values. You know, I have a very clear understanding of what those values are. And values to me are those things that are just absolute non-negotiables, okay? They're things that you just cannot compromise on. And I've gone through a process to understand what for me those non-negotiables are. You know, so for me, my values are kindness, optimism, growth, integrity, respect. And that's exactly how I like to lead. You know, I live my values. And so when I started on LinkedIn 2 years ago now, that's exactly what I did. I led with my values. I focused on serving. I focused on spreading a message of kindness and optimism. And what I found, Nesli, was incredible. You know, what I found was a community, a very supportive community who believed the things that I believed, you know, which was amazing. And especially when you're starting out on a social media platform, you have no idea who anyone is. You're starting from the very beginning. You're just growing your following. You're building your presence. Everyone has that fear of being judged. You know, everyone has that fear of putting out a piece of content and nobody engaging on it or nobody resonating with your message. So to have a community of people stand behind me has just been incredible. And as a result, I've been able to build a very large and engaged following. And like I said, people that have very, very similar values. And for me, having a large following, Nesli, has nothing to do with influence or has nothing to do with vanity metrics or getting likes and comments or anything like that. For me, it's all about making an impact. And I believe that if you have influence, if you have a following, and I don't care if it's 2,000 or 3,000 or 100,000, you have a responsibility, okay? And if you're not using that platform to make some sort of impact on humanity, then in my opinion, it's a wasted opportunity. You know, so for me, that's my mission. It's using my platform to spread a message of kindness and optimism, because I truly feel everyone can succeed if you're willing to support and lift each other up. So my leadership style is based on when you get to the top, you know, make sure that you send that lift back down. You know, make sure that you're lifting other people back up because everybody can succeed. So I'm very blessed to have built a large following of people that have similar values and enjoy the message that I like to spread. And I'm very grateful to be able to do that on a daily basis.
Yes. And I am so grateful meeting you also. I'm learning many things from you. You are spreading your words about Tony Robbins, about Warren Buffett, and many other great leaders.
Thank you.
And I wonder, like many other great leaders experienced would you please share with us your many breakthroughs in your life, and would you like to share one of those important breakthroughs if you experienced, how you overcame it, and how you felt during this period? Your opinion, your thoughts are important for us as a great leader.
Thank you, Nesli. Yeah, sure. I've had many breakthroughs, and to give you some perspective, 20 years ago, I was a very shy, awkward teenager. I was working at a pizza place. I was washing dishes every day. I didn't have the confidence to look people in the eyes. I felt like I didn't deserve to take up the voice space because I felt like I didn't matter. I had very, very low self-worth. And that's because I experienced a lot of bullying when I was younger. So I was an immigrant to Australia. I was born in Egypt. I came here when I was 4 years old, and I was bullied a lot because I was different. I looked different. I sounded different. I couldn't speak a word of English. I only knew Arabic. And when I came to Australia, I had to be thrown into school and learn English on the spot. And so unfortunately, I was bullied quite a lot. And it affected my self-esteem, my confidence, and that continued on through to age at least 18. And at age 18, as I mentioned, I was working at this pizza place, and my boss was a serial entrepreneur who was just an incredible guy. And they say that sometimes it only takes one person. You know, it only takes one person to maybe see something in you that you don't see in yourself, to really help facilitate some sort of change. And that's what he did for me. So, I mean, I'm so grateful to him for this to this day, because I very much didn't see much in myself at that stage, but he gifted me something that changed everything. And he gifted me this, and I'm going to show my age here. Okay. This was a while ago, but he gifted me a 24 disc CD set by Tony Robbins. Okay. And it was called Personal Power 2. And this was so long ago that Tony Robbins was calling himself Anthony Robbins. All right. It was a while ago. And I'm talking about CDs. I had no idea what self-improvement was. I'd never touched it before. Like I said, I was a very shy, awkward kid. But I went home, Nesli, and I put on that very first CD. And as soon as I heard Tony Robbins' voice, and for anyone that's experienced Tony's voice, it's a very unique voice. As soon as I heard that voice, it changed everything for me. And I went through this 30-day program. It really forced me to jump out of my comfort zone and do things that terrified me. Okay, so I mean, I'm talking about starting from the basics, like talking to people, okay, and then public speaking and doing sales presentations and building my confidence. And for me, that's what it's been. It's been a 15-20 year journey of building confidence and courage. And now getting to a stage where whenever I have something that scares me, or whenever I come across some sort of fear, I know that's a message almost from the universe, letting me know that that's something that I have to conquer so that I can actually grow through that. And that's what I've been doing. So it's been an absolute breakthrough. You know, for me to even be able to do this and speak confidently in front of you now, or speak on stage in front of hundreds or thousands of people, is incredible. And I've really had to work on that, you know, and I've learned many things along the way. I've learned nobody cares what you look like. Nobody cares what you sound like. What they care about is your message, you know, and if you have an important message that you can serve people with, you've got an obligation to share that message. And the important thing about that is it makes you stop thinking about yourself, you know, because we all think about ourselves and what are people going to think about us and what's that person going to say, when really we should be thinking about the message that we're serving people with and thinking about others. And so that's been my way of overcoming a lot of my fears and absolutely making a breakthrough. So that's been my biggest one. And mind you, I'm still growing, I'm still learning, I'm still adapting, but it's absolutely been a breakthrough.
Yeah, yeah. We are still learning, and we will keep going to learn from each other. And
Yeah.
thank you. You covered my other question, in fact, but it's important to be seen in front of the camera. How you become a fearless leader in front of camera? Can you share your thoughts? Can you suggest something to our friends or leaders? How can they overcome this fear or scare?
I wouldn't say I'm fearless in front of the camera, but I'm definitely more fearless than I was. Okay, and it's been practice. That's all it's been. I've just practiced and practiced and practiced, and for me, it's been years, you know. And it's a matter of recording yourself, watching yourself back, you know, understanding what moments you can actually improve on. Look at your mannerisms, focus on the way you say and articulate certain words, and keep practicing, you know, and keep practicing and recording yourself, watching it back, recording yourself, watching it back, until you get to a stage where you're happy with it. I'm not going to say a stage where it's perfect. Nobody's going to be perfect. And I don't know anybody that likes the way they look on camera or likes the way they sound on camera. But you can get to a stage where you're about 80, 90% happy with it, and you can proceed from there. But for me, it's just been about knowing that it's scary, knowing that it's fearful, but again, focusing on how you're going to serve people with your message and letting that overcome your fear. Okay, but that combined with just a lot of practice behind the scenes and jumping out of your comfort zone. And the more you do that, you build the muscle, because that's all confidence is, Nesli. It's a skill set. It's a muscle that you build. Okay. And if it's a skill set, that means if you keep practicing it, if you keep accomplishing your goals and overcoming some of those fears of being in front of the camera, and you do that consistently, it's not going to be as fearful as it was before. And so that's what I've done. I've just consistently put myself in front of the camera every single day and tried to do things that are a little bit different, just to peel back a few layers and show people another side of me. So the answer to that question is just a whole bunch of practice and consistent practice.
Yeah. Thank you, Ahmed. And the other question is, we are in our lovely city, Istanbul. Did you see before Istanbul?
I've never been to Istanbul. I'd love to be, but no, I've never experienced it.
I hope so. And we hope to meet next year in Istanbul for this summit.
I would love that. I would love that.
Yes, yes.
I've heard the food there is incredible. And I'm a massive food person. I love my food. So I've heard the street food is the best.
Yes, I think so. As a foodie.
I have a
Okay,
question. Cool. Can you
Yeah,
hear?
sure, go for it.
Yes, because you're superstar on LinkedIn, but have you seen that the evolution of the audience as they were getting more educated?
It's been incredible. Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, even just 4 or 5 years ago, you know, the platform was, as we know, a job seeking platform. You know, the platform was mainly for recruiters and job seekers. And so people saw it as that. And so as a result, a lot of the content was really just focused on recruitment and job seeking. But about 2 years ago, probably about 2.5 years ago now, they introduced video on LinkedIn. And as you know, it changed everything. Okay, so people can then, you know, brand themselves, they can educate others, entertain others, uplift others, but it's given people a platform to just spread their knowledge and expertise. And so we've seen all these different niches and businesses and people within those niches and businesses come out and just spread that knowledge. But the other thing is, I think as content has evolved and people realizing the need to evolve their content and how content is important in their business journey and their brand's journey, a lot more people have been willing to share things that were probably hiding. Okay, so a lot of people that were really reserving things for when their clients came on board, or maybe for courses, have now realized that it's actually important to give away as much free value as possible. And so we've seen this massive evolution of information exchange on LinkedIn, which is an amazing thing. You know, and it's also a great way to attract your ideal client and attract your ideal audience. So it's been an evolution of content as well as an evolution of LinkedIn.
And when you were talking about the way you were bullied when you were a child,
Yeah.
Do you think, what would you tell him now that you have completely overcome this challenge?
Wow, powerful question. And I've thought about this a lot. I would tell him that don't let other people's opinions define your own worth. You know, I got to a stage where I let so many people's opinions define who I was. I started to believe them. You know, I started to believe everything negative that people were saying about me. And I let that create this very, very negative opinion about myself. So I would tell him to look in the mirror and smile and love what you see. And your opinion is the only one that matters.
Yes. Wonderful. So thank you, dear Lorraine. And sorry for those voice issues. We heard Ahmed, but my voice didn't reach out. So that the last question is, as a great connector of LinkedIn, what do you suggest people, how they can be consistent in their LinkedIn adventure and also in other social media platforms? Because there are many unfair issues. We know many things we can tell. So that your suggestions are important for new beginners and also some job seekers and leaders, entrepreneurs who are feeling so desperate.
So the question is, what advice would I give to people starting off on social media?
Yes. Social media, and also, in fact, social media is part of our lives, so that it's same for our lives also.
The advice that I give to a lot of my clients is very, very simple advice. It's simple in me telling it. It might not be simple in practicing it. And that advice is just be human. You know, I think a lot of us overthink the process of social media, overthink the process of creating content. And with that, we either try and give too much, or we create this persona and character that is not actually us, you know? And a lot of us do that when we jump on camera or when we create content, when the reality is, and the beautiful thing is, when you can actually be human, when you can actually be yourself and express yourself, the good, the bad, the ugly, the indifferent, you're going to find a community of people that believe what you believe and that resonate with you. And that's what you need to do. Those are the people that you want to attract, and anyone that doesn't resonate with your message, then see you later. You know, you don't need to. It's really that simple. But when I say be human, peel back a few layers of your professional persona and give people insight into who you are. The human being behind the business persona, that is where the real power is. And if you can do that comfortably and confidently, you're going to build trust faster than you can ever imagine. Okay, so I've done a lot of what I would consider ridiculous things on LinkedIn. Right? I've put out videos of me rapping, for example. I've put out a music video on LinkedIn. I've put out videos of me dancing, and it's not stuff that I would recommend. You know, it's me having a bit of a laugh, but it's to build likability. It's to just show people that, you know, I am human. I do business, and when I do business, I take that very serious. I'm relentless with my business, but I also go home at the end of the day and I put on a pair of shorts and I play with my children, you know, just like everybody else. And so it's important to show people the human side of you. And I would approach it just like that if you're starting off on social media. And if you do that, you'll be able to remain consistent, okay? Because you can talk about you as a person, focus on adding as much free value as possible, building that trust. And once you build that trust is when you can actually get people compelled to believe in what you actually do as a business.
Yeah.
Okay, so about 20% of the time, you might see me actually selling something. All right. You might see me putting out a link to a webinar or promoting something, but that's only because 80% of the time, if not more, I'm just serving as much as possible. I'm giving back as much as possible. Free value, information, intellectual property, whatever it is, I don't care. And that builds enough trust for people to then buy into the things that I do as a business. Okay, so that's my recommendation. Be human, be yourself, feel free to experiment, and use your values as a foundation for your content. And if you do that, you'll be able to stay in your lane and not veer from that.
Yes. Wonderful message. Thank you, Ahmed.
My pleasure.
You have wonderful live events tomorrow.
I've got a very, yes, it's 11 p.m. here in Sydney. And I've got a full day live event tomorrow with some incredible people, Tony Robbins, Robert Kiyosaki, Dean Graziosi, and some amazing local speakers. So yeah, I'm going to go to sleep after this and wake up early and get started. I'm very excited with that. But thank you so much for having me, Nesli. It's been an incredible experience here. And like I said, I'm looking forward to the other speakers.
Thank you. Thank you for everything you do, everything you supported me every time. I appreciate you with gratitude. And also all of us, you made incredible efforts for all of us. Thank you.
Nesli, you're one of those people on a platform that is a great example of someone that just gives and gives and gives and supports each other. So when you asked me to be on here, it was my pleasure to. It's my honor. So thank you very much.
Thank you, and may God bless you, all of your loved ones, Ahmed. Wishing you lifetime success and happiness.
Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. Take care, everyone, and I hope you enjoy. All the best.
So, and we are so sad that some technical issues occurred, but my voice is going nice, and I see Hayat. And if you are free, dear Hayat, we can keep going with you. How does it sound to you?
Okay, as you want. Really.
Because some technical issues, you know. I appreciate if we start with you.
Okay.
Your wonderful violin performance, then we can talk with you.
Thank you. Thank you. Do you hear me? You can hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now we are listening you. Please, then we will talk with you. Our adventure.
My violin first?
Yes, please, please, please.
Okay.
Bravo. Thank you, Sayat.
Thank you so much.
You are so special for me.
You too.
You are a great servant leader like Ahmed and other friends. We met years ago and we learned many things from each other. We experienced many hard issues, unfair issues, and we came nowadays. And we hope to meet with you also one day in Algeria or Istanbul.
I have to.
I hope so. Yes, I hope so. And we were planning to be together with Amin, but he had unexpected meeting, so that he sent his best wishes to us. I respect and love both of you. You are great leaders, musicians, art workers, and servant leaders. So your leadership style is important. How you decided to be a musician, and also Emin, would you please share with us your whole journey? How you become a wonderful musician, worldwide musician?
Thank you, because you love me.
No, no,
I am really honored to be part of this event, and it's a privilege to me to be among all of these wonderful leaders and change makers. So I really feel very happy to share with you my passion, because it's not a joke for me. It's only passion. It's only going through music and violin. So I want to thank first of course Mr. YAVUZ for this opportunity to express myself through this event and making it happen. Of course, thank you. I want to thank you, my dear sister, Can Dostum Nesli. You are a really respectful lady and a close and precious friend of mine. So thank you for your invitation and including me to this live summit. So
honor for us.
Thank you. So let me introduce myself, maybe, starting with most important when he said, "Don't die with your music still inside you."
Yes.
Listen to your intuitive inner voice and find what passion stirs you. So this is my philosophy, and so I truly am. I am a violin concertist. I'm a violin teacher at Algeria High Music Academy and concert master of Algeria Opera Orchestra. So my career choice, as you ask me, how I decided to be an art worker and musician, as musicians, is actually, I am sure music has chosen me. You know, living by this intuitive inner voice within the little child. Years ago, starting at the age of 7, I'm from a musician's family, and you know, my parents are really music lover. My elder brothers are. The one is conductor. Unfortunately, he couldn't be among us today. He's my maestro at Algeria Opera House Orchestra, and the other one is a pianist. So all the ingredients were there to become musician, I think. So I remember that Amin told me, and he was also a violinist, very good violinist. He started with playing violin, and after he go on to learn conducting. So he told me, you know, you'll see the whole world around the world. You'll be around the world if you learn violin. So I was really fascinated by his words, and the journey started.
Yeah.
I started to learn violin.
I am so glad hearing the soul journey and career development. You are a great role model for all of us. And we see in many events you are sharing over LinkedIn.
Yeah.
We
As you
see,
always say, sharing is caring.
yes, yes, sharing is caring. And did you feel sometimes lost or struggled during your lifetime? Did you experience any breakthrough, and how you overcome as a great leader? How you become Hayat?
From my side, I always overcome through music, you know, art in general, because music for me is a great hero. You know, to tune in and know exactly and profoundly what it is. So for me, many years of learning, hard working, and going through my passion leads me to start international career with many great maestros like Michel Tabachnik in France and Daniel Barenboim in Berlin, and many others across the world. So this makes me more confident and you know, increasing my skills more and more to be on the high level to could attend and be among great orchestra, because you need to be excellent musician.
Yeah.
It's always increasing my skills more and more, then brings me at some point a huge opportunity, and was the shift in my life to become a leader as a concertmaster of Algeria Opera Orchestra first, and with many and among many international orchestra. So it was something that changed the course of my life, and going forward, and I knew that things will never be the same for me. It required me to have courage to do new stuff and responsibilities, because you know a leader in orchestra is same in every other field. You know, is a strategic, humbly through. It's a really strategic way to do things.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he's showing strategy, showing the way, and lending its conquest humbly through contribution to the team. So I can give you some technical mentions about concertmaster is a leader of the first violin and the whole strings section, and he also the assistant to the conductor. He provides the orchestra with consistent and technically oriented leadership. So the concertmaster, in addition to being an excellent player and musician with deep knowledge of orchestra repertoire of music, he must also, it's a must, cultivate super leadership, teaching, and communication skills. You know, as musicians, we perform live. So each concert is a new challenge. So we have, as always, the conductor told us, and when we are really moment where we play with emotions, and he just told us, come down, and you have to have a cool head but a warm heart. So this is the story.
Yes.
Musicians and artists are only a ball of emotions. So we have to show all of this and stay focused.
And for wonderful conversation. And as you told me yesterday, if possible, we want another performance from you.
You want it now? Okay.
If possible, yes.
Yes, of course, of course.
Please.
I play maybe some Turkish music. I think it's traditional Ottoman music. Uskudar. For sure you know it. And maybe going through Algerian music, or maybe I can let the Algerian piece at the end, as you like.
You know.
when did you have your first moment of eternity with your violin?
I think I don't think, but I have been told that it was very young when I was very young, but I didn't were aware about this. But you know, when we get older, we understand things differently. We see things differently. So maybe becoming like this, it's when I'm becoming aware of how to make hard brain coherence, you know, and feeling this this music within, you know, it's really this is real intuition and the real voice that speaks to you and tell you things and leads you to take decisions. So music is very it's my first leader, I think. I'm sure.
Magnificent.
Sure. And Lorraine is talking wonderful French. I am sure you can be in dialogue with her also, dear Hayat.
Yeah, avec grand plaisir. Merci. Merci de vous connaître.
Moi aussi.
Yes. And we are grateful meeting with you. We appreciate your message to especially youth and also all leaders of LinkedIn and other social media platforms who are listening us. What is your message to them as a centered leader?
Yeah, you know, if I have a message is to this is why I say to my students and my colleagues, you know, it's follow your dreams.
Yeah.
As simple as it is. You know, have trust and enjoy your passion. However, it's your passion, your work, your job, always through passion. So you may, in my case, and when I talk to my students, as I told you, I tell them you may know to learn and how to learn violence, but you should become a violent. Myself becoming aware to how make heart-brain coherence. So I teach my students and everyone I meet how to listen to the inner music, this inner voice inside. So which is a great leader to success, and of course, beside working enough to be excellent in our jobs and our
Yeah.
but the most important is to be aware of the existence meaning. This is also my message. If everyone want to make positive impact and a deep transformation within, this voice guide you to make right choices. The heart is the first leader, as I said, ever. Tune in and you'll enjoy your work, your life, your existence. So change your mindset and be brave to be what you really are. Despite your imperfections, you have to assume all of this. So to me, music is an optimal education of soul and body and an excellent healer. So this is my my message to everyone.
Thank you, dear Sayat, for everything you do, especially for me. You are my one of those greatest friends, sisters, and I appreciate all of the things you did to me, to our communities. I hope to make more good events together with you.
Thank you so much, and so you are. Thank you too.
Thank you. Thank
nice to meet you, Laura, and nice to meet Ahmad, and respect to all of you, all the guests, and great leaders.
Honor for us, and our respect to you, your family, and Amin also.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
And if their cheerleader Rob House can hear us, we can connect with him.
I can hear you. How you doing, Nestle?
Wonderful. Leader, how are you doing, dear Rob?
Doing fantastic. Doing fantastic. How about you?
We are doing good.
Looks like it. Looks like it.
Issues. We are happy to be with you and our guests.
I'm happy to be here, and I'm always encouraged to be around other thought leaders who, you never know what you're going to learn, you know?
Yes, you are right. You are right. And I love your t-shirts.
That's the goal. That's the goal.
And you have wonderful family. We know them. You are always showing us the happiness, the way to happiness together with them. So that how you decided this goal, 1 billion healthy and happy people also.
Well, you know, we're much better human beings when we're happy. Yeah. You know, this is an interesting thing about love and joy. You know, people, your life expectancy is longer. You have less health issues. Marriages stay together longer. The parenting skills go up. Your perspective changes. Your business excels. I mean, because love is just it opens the door. And when you don't have love in your heart, then you have room for the opposite. And the opposite is the opposite of everything I just said. So, you know, it's a pretty simple thing to try to follow. And the goal is, you know, when I think of healthy is the new wealthy. Okay. And so you think mental, physical, and spiritual, or call it soulful, wherever you are, you know, mental, physical, and spiritual. You got to be healthy in those 3 areas. If we get healthy in those areas, meaning we have a good mindset, a good intellect, we're thinking the right thoughts, our body, meaning we're putting the right foods in our body. You don't have to, you know, just eat leaves off trees, but you can't eat sugar all day. You can't eat a bunch of fats all day, you know, saturated fats all day. You know, you have to be able to balance yourself. You have to move a little bit. So you take care of your body, drinking your water, moving, eating good foods. You take care of your mind, thinking the right thoughts, reading some good books, going to some good seminars, surrounding yourself with the right people, right? And then your soul, the way you make your soul rich, or your spirit, the way you do that to make that healthy is to be grateful. That's really simple. Just be grateful for what you have. That's sometimes the most difficult thing to do, is to be grateful for what we have, because we are human beings and we expect and we want more. And everybody wanted more than what 2020 gave us. Hello, nobody wanted 2020, but there's something good inside of 2020. And if you're grateful enough, it'll open your eyes up to be able to see that. Your gratitude determines your attitude, which ultimately determines your altitude.
Yes, wonderful. So, what is your thoughts about to be better leaders of our own self, our business areas? What do you suggest us? To be healthy is important. To be happy is important. Beyond those, what is your other thoughts also?
So, you know, to be the best leader that you can be, whether in your house, in your community, or even in your business, there's this formula that I followed because I did it. And then I realized what I did. Then I decided to call it something. And actually, this formula is what I used to really, I didn't use it, but it used me to save my marriage. Honestly, you know, it helped to empower my marriage, to lift our marriage up, and to give us a better perspective. And I call it the fulfillment formula. And it's just 3 things. And if you do these 3 things, anything in life will excel. Like anything in life, you will reach fulfillment if you do these 3 things. And it's not magic. It's just consistency. And I call it the fulfillment formula. And it's self-reflection, course correction, and humility. It's self-reflection. Self-reflection is something that most people don't do because you have to think about your day. You have to think about your life. You have to think about how you are showing up, how people are receiving you, and perceiving you. You have to do that. If you do the self-reflection, it's really a self-analysis. And in business, a lot of times we're just doing activity. We don't reflect on the activity. So when you reflect, you get a chance to be aware of it, right? And then course correction allows you to make the adjustments. This is huge because, see, in our marriage, you know, there were certain things that were happening and, you know, I had my own perspective. But then when I took a step back and took a look at it from my wife's perspective, I had a different self-reflection. It allowed me to course correct, make some adjustments in my own behavior, in my own thinking. And then humility allows you to do those first two accurately. Because if you're not humble, you can self-correct and course correct. You can do that all day long and you'll still be inaccurate, because humility allows you to put other people first. And that's a hard thing to do, because when you're hungry, you want to eat. When you're thirsty, you want to drink. It's really about us. It's really a natural thing. Humility allows you to shrink the ego long enough to be able to have that really accurate self-reflection on what's going on, and then the course correction to do the things you need to do. And that's big in life and in business. That fulfillment formula will work 100% of the time with consistency.
Yes, I see.
Mm-hmm. And oh, go ahead, Nestle.
You are a great leader. You are caring others, and you are always with us. You are supporting all of us, and you are solution-oriented, open-minded leaders. I appreciate all you do. We are talking about exponential growth, and especially nowadays, we are experiencing many ups and downs in all communities. And what is your suggestions, point of views, especially when we think exponential growth strategy? We are trying to develop new point of views, new perspectives in business, in our lives, to be more solution-oriented leaders and people. Your opinions and thoughts are important for us.
Thank you. You know, thank you, Nestle. And I would say, you know, clarity is king and strategy is queen. Okay. Yeah. Clarity is king and strategy is queen. And the reason why you want to do it that way is because the hardest target to hit is the one that's not there. And a lot of times we don't hit our goals because we're just not that clear. And sometimes clarity to us is not clear. Like we'll have really vague goals or vague ideas. We'll have a to-do list. Let me be very clear. Sometimes, like if you have a day in front of you, if your to-do list has 30 things on it, it's not clear. It's a bunch of activity. What you need to do is look at what are the top 3 things you want to get done in that day. What are the top 3 most important things that if you do on this day, it will move you forward the most. So once you get clarity on that, right? And if I'm clear on exactly what I need to do, and then I put a strategy in place to execute it.
Yeah.
I mean, after that, it's inevitable what's going to happen. You know, there's a great book called Ready, Fire, Aim. And it's interesting because we're used to hearing what ready, aim, fire. Everyone's used to ready, aim, fire, ready, aim, fire. That's, you know, typically what we're used to hearing. But the book kind of flips it and it's ready, fire, aim. And what that means is that get yourself ready, get clarity, get very clear on what you want to do, and then go. It means go do something and then reflect, aim, meaning like now take a look at it and make the adjustments. So you already gotten clarity. I'm ready. Fire, taking action. Aim, meaning I'm always course correcting. So I'm taking action, but as I'm taking action, I'm looking at the possibilities, the potentiality, the outcome. I'm looking at all that. So therefore, I'm able to really optimize my opportunity because I'm ready. I took action, and I'm also course correcting along the way. Course correction is very, very important. People don't realize that when a rocket leaves the Earth and it's on its way to the moon, it's off course like most of the time. Like over 75% of the way, the rocket is off course The rocket is off course. A plane, when a plane leaves to go from one country to the next, it's off course almost the whole time. How does it get on course? They have pilots and they're course correcting constantly. If anyone does not course correct one moment, it could be bad. In your life, if you're not course correcting, it could be bad. If you're not course correcting in your business, meaning you're just doing activity, then what you're doing is you're not looking at what the possible outcomes could be because you haven't analyzed it accurately. So course correction is huge. So we're gonna say clarity is king. Strategy is the queen.
I love that. Sounds great.
Thank you.
So your profession is mastering automation and related processes. How your working habits changed with those recent developments and what kind of outcomes you gain? Would you like to share with us?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, my organization focuses heavily on helping companies automate redundant processes. Anything that somebody's doing behind a computer over and over again, they should not be doing that. Nobody in the world should be doing anything that just has them doing the same thing because they have a mind that should be used. And what I've learned, even being in my own business, is how to automate more things, how to put more things on automatic, what kind of systems and process, what kind of systems and how can I automate the processes that I am doing? And what that's done, it takes me away from doing redundant, monotonous behavior to open me up and free me up to focus on more things that add value. I could be impacting people's lives, doing the things that I'm great at and that I love to do, like creating content, speaking to people. I can't be here if I'm doing emails or if I'm doing some data entry that needs to be done. My time is taken up. So what I've learned over the years and tremendously over the last couple of years is the power of automation. Anything that you can automate, anything that you can put on autopilot, it frees you up to do other things. And this is major. And sometimes it takes time to decide and figure out what it is that you're doing. What is it that you're doing that you're always doing? There's a way to automate it. There's a way to any process that you have, you can add some automation to it that allow you to not have to focus on that repetitive behavior. And what we learn in companies, literally gone through the roof. Efficiency, effectiveness, the well-being of the people, a person's well-being changes. It's amazing when you can take somebody away from doing something repetitive and allow them to use their critical mind, critical thinking, and you'll see the creativity go through the roof. And so I'll say this, anything that you are doing consistently, repetitively, find a way to add automation to it, and you will see a major change in your life.
Yes, it's so important.
It is.
And you have a wonderful family. Your children are amazing with your wonderful wife. We appreciate your message, especially for millennials, because they are our future. What would you like to say them as a message that how they can be happy in their lives because they lost their schools, they don't go to schools regularly, circumstances changing, and there are many other issues. Your experiences, your thoughts and opinions are so important as a thought leader.
Thank you, Nestle. I work with children my whole life. That's probably my favorite thing to do. I've started programs. My wife and I started a nonprofit over 10 years ago, helping young people, elementary, middle school, and high school. Have had track and field programs, flag football programs, summer camps. I even had a TV show called Can't Fit where we were just empowering the kids mentally, physically, spiritually. We would have coaches, trainers, nutritionists, different mentors and teachers come and be a part of the program. And the kids would set goals. They would set goals. They had a goal book, and then they would write, again, we're doing this clarity is king. They would do that. They write their goals down, and then they write the plan out that they were going to do. And for young people, what I would say is you are the future. Like this world, you know, this world could be better, right? And you guys are the ones that are going to make it better. Like we didn't get it that right. And the ones before us, and the ones before us, you know, and the ones before us, you know, we're trying to figure it out. Millennials and young people, like this is your time. And so what I would tell you is that 100%, no matter what, believe in yourself.
Yes.
100%, no matter what, believe in yourself, even in your failures. It's so important that the belief is within inside of a person, because if you have the belief in you, even when things aren't going the way you want, you'll find a way to fail forward, or you'll fail up. You know, every obstacle will somehow, there'll be an opportunity, you know, inside of it when you believe in yourself. And I can't tell you how important that is, because over 80% of the planet does not. If you go, you can do there's surveys that have been done, not just people, but in their occupations. 75% of people go to jobs that they do not like. Like, what is that? Why would people do this on purpose? Because they got caught into the race of life and they stopped believing in themselves. Because when you believe in yourself, you don't do stuff that you don't want to do. You can't. Like, you can't do what you don't want to do because you're like, oh, I know what I'm supposed to be doing. So believing in yourself. So how do you do that? Because it sounds really cool, right? Get around other folks who believe in themselves. Go on YouTube University and type in, how do I believe in myself? You know, find thought leaders that are believing in themselves. Find people who are doing what you want to do. And I tell you this, that belief will be that thing inside of you, that compass that guides you. And when it becomes completely dark, and years like 2020 shows up, and pandemics come, and the income is going out, the compass will keep you on your path. And you won't even know. And I know this to be a fact because some things happened to me. It was just like, whoa. And I had nothing. But I believed in myself. Even when didn't look like I should have. Okay. It didn't look like I should have done this. People looking at me like, you're crazy. I'm like, yeah, but this is all I got is me. So I'm going all in on me 100%. I'm going to ride and die with me. So ride and die with you. Ride yourself all the way out.
Yes. And we have Lorraine together with us. She is amazing to support job seekers and also HR part. She is wonderful leader. Maybe she can ask question to our great leader.
That's awesome. Hi, Lorraine.
Hi, thank you. Thank you. It's an honor. I'm very happy. Yes, I was wondering, what we see in the job market is the loss of hope. It's true, there's a scarcity of opportunities. So what would you say to a job seeker at the moment starting to get back on his or her feet?
Yes, great question, Lorraine. And you know, this is really, it's a simple answer. It won't be as simple to execute, but find out where you can add value. What value can you add to anyone? What value can you bring anywhere? A lot of times we're trying to find a thing we think we need, and that will kind of keep us on the seeking and not finding, especially when a lot of people are doing that. We can bring value fast. You can bring value quickly. Find out where that is. How can you impact one person? Maybe two. Then comes three. But wherever you can add value, you increase your impact, you will ultimately increase your income. This is the fact. And so it may be difficult to find a job. it may be because everyone's trying to do something. So the actual connection for what you're looking for, the bridge may be longer than you think, but if you can add value to people today. And I would say focus on adding value to people and you will see how things will just change. It's just the way life and the universe works. And so struggles will never end, but we have 100% control over our actions and our intentions. And if we intend to bring value, if we intend to bring impact, it's inevitable that income will return.
About that, you've worked with many young people, and this is something that is very crucial, in my humble opinion, is some of them are really talented. Everyone is talented, but some of them, there's something about them that is already there.
Mm-hmm.
What would you tell them to keep on working hard and have the best standards for themselves to reach excellence and not go for easy money?
Yeah, easy is sleazy for sure. It will always end. Working on yourself, working on yourself consistently, starting your morning off right, starting your morning off, waking up, thinking about what you're grateful for, get your glass of water, stretch, focus, start your day off, not going to your phone and looking at your phone and checking text messages and looking at emails. Actually get centered on your day, right? Mm-hmm. And then work on yourself. Just work on yourself. Don't think about the millions of dollars. Don't think about the house or the car. Don't think about the end goal, because life is really not a race. Because if you think about it, once the race is over, you're gone. So you're not really trying to get to the end. Okay, we're in this hurry. We want to live life. The beautiful thing is inside the journey. And so what we have to find a way is how to appreciate the journey more. And the way you appreciate the journey more is to stop being so focused on the end goal, on the end game. That will get you caught up. Like I have an end goal, 1 billion healthy. That's not even the end. That's just a component. I have an end goal, to see poverty, hunger, and homelessness diminished. Those are my end goals. I'm going to have more goals when you get to that goal. Every time you have a goal, you get to it, and then you make another one. So if you put all your energy in just trying to get to that goal, you will miss what you're doing along the way. You will miss those motivational, inspirational moments that are going to carry you, not just to that goal, but to every goal afterwards. So I would say, start your morning off right, and then get focused on the strategy and the journey and live it out.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for those great questions.
Thank you, dear cheerleader of both. And your last words about your thoughts, your opinions, your suggestions. What was your today's Leadership Summit's message for all of us? What would you like to say last of all in conclusion?
I want to say something that I believe will, every human on the planet adopts it. We will see a future like we have not ever believed we could see. And I mean, in a positive way. And I mean, if we do this, we are on something. We are on our way. And it's simple again. All these things are real simple. Love yourself. Love other people. Repeat. Love yourself. Love other people. Repeat. And what I mean by that is loving yourself is believing yourself, as we were speaking about, appreciating who you are, being grateful for everything you have, the good and the bad, because there's good in the bad. You love yourself, that means your cup is overflowing. And now you get to pour it on others. And if you love others, what happens is there's this transformational energy that you pass on. And so now that you put out your love, there's an energy that goes out, and energy is transmittable. So now you're impacted. The person you've been loving on is impacted, and anybody who's watching that is impacted. It's called the dose, D-O-S-E. What is it? Dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. Yes, I remembered it. And this is what happens when you give. When you give, you release these chemicals, these neurochemicals, real things, and you also release an energy outside of your body. So we're working neuroscience and quantum, and we're connecting. And it's practical. So it's neuroscience, it's quantum, and it's practical. Love yourself, love other people, repeat.
Love yourself, love the people.
That's it. Let's try that. It's real easy, right?
Because we live with our hearts. When we lose our hearts, when our hearts die, our life finish, you know.
Yes.
That's why to love people, to love ourselves is important message for all of us.
Yes, indeed. Yes. Most important.
Thank you for everything you do. I appreciate you and all your family members also. They are great leaders like you.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate this, Neslihan. Thank you for doing this, putting this great conference on. I know so many people are getting impacted by this.
I hope so. We hope so. We aim to do this together.
Yes.
And may God bless you and all your loved ones.
God bless you. Thank you, Lorraine.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye. And we will keep going with Mr. YAVUZ ALTUN, the founder of Exponential Growth Strategy Summit and many things. He is a great leader, CEO of Happy Center, supermarkets, and many of startup owner also. He is a real servant leader, so that we will listen to him, his soul journey, his leadership style, his book, and how we came nowadays. He will tell himself. You're welcome.
AHMAD said, growth for the sake of growth is the ideology of cancer cells. All we want to grow. We want to be richer. We want to be more stronger. We want to be more powerful in our personal and professional life. But the question is how? How we can grow in a much more balanced way? How we can grow much more stable way? This is the question. I would like to thank all of you for being here today. Such a great transformational day. I would like to thank Mr. Ahmed, Ms. Hayat, and Rob, and all of our great volunteer speakers. Their sharing what they experienced in their life, what they have in their hand and in their heart. My name is YAVUZ ALTUN. I am an entrepreneur, I am an engineer and father of 4 kids. I'm the CEO at Happy Center supermarket chain based in Istanbul. We have 192 stores in 5 different cities. Last year in October, I did this summit. We had 135 stores. In less than a year, we grew more than 60% in our in our physical stores, and also in our online shopping platform, we have double size. We are exporting fast-moving consumer goods more than 40 countries, including Nigeria, Qatar, Germany, United Kingdom, United States, and you can find our Happy Clean and Happy Sweet products in Chinese supermarkets as well. Today, I would like to mention 3 important dimensions which changed my life. First, how setting goals can change and transform your life. Second, how to respond to change instead of growth. And the last one, how to transform from I statement to we statement. Yes, how setting goals changed my life. In 1999, after my engineering graduation, I was planning to go to the MBA in London. But before going, one of the most tragic event happened. One of the biggest earthquake happened in Turkey's history. It was midnight. All we were sleeping so deeply. Suddenly buildings are shaken. Just less than in a minute, all the buildings around of my houses are destroyed. Just less than a minute, we lost more than 25,000 people. All we were in shock, in trauma, we are looking blank and we are crying at that night. Just, I have a friend who lost 15 family members in this night. And he was in shock. I didn't know long time what I have to do. Because life lost all meanings for me. Then one day I was reading a book written by George HOWZE. It was about systems engineering, how to solve complex business problems. And he was describing system, a set of elements, a set of interactions between elements, and a set of boundary conditions. And in the beginning of his book, he used Alice in Wonderland as an example. Let's listen to conversation between Alice and cat. Alice asked the cat, would you tell me please which way I have to go from here? And cat replied, that depends a good deal where you want to get to. And Alice said, I don't care much where. And cat replied, that it doesn't matter which way you go. Alice said, as long as I get somewhere. And cat replied, oh, you are sure to do that if only you work long enough. Yes, if you don't set goals for yourself, people around you will set goals for you. Your environment will set goals for you. So I decided to go to the MBA in London. I was studying my MBA in London. I applied more than 100 jobs, but most of them they rejected. Some of them they said, I don't have UK degree. Some of them they said, I don't have enough experience. Some of them, because of discrimination of my nationality, all they rejected. But I applied again and again. One day I said, listen your destiny. Just a little bit slower. At the end, I worked 14 different companies, from CD factory to the St. John ambulance supply company. Just we need to, in life, also where to stop to get what we want. I was studying my MBA. I had great job and very good friends. One day, my father called me. He said to me, Yavuz, oh my son, you have to come back as soon as possible. If you don't come back, never and ever do not come back. I should. Life is too short and shorter than I think. And the family is the most important thing in our life. So I decided to return because my father, he had several sickness. I came to Istanbul. We were opening our second store. We had about 70 employees. And I studied about systems, structures, procedures. I have programming background. So I designed programs for human resources, for finance, for logistics software, automated purchasing. And also I analyzed system in terms of financial background because I did corporate strategy, finance in UK for Tesco, change management for Sainsbury's. After 6 months of work, we did a meeting in my board. And I explained then we want to be in top 10 players in next 10 years after giving all the details. My father, he was very angry to me. I gave as a metaphor, cube metaphor, and I asked to my board, if you have 1 centimeter H cube, and if you add 1 centimeter more, what could be volume of new cube? One of my uncles said 2, another he said 6, and another he said 8. Yes, I said, this company will be grow more than 8 times and 8 times. My father was very angry to me again, and he left the room. Then my uncle, he left the room. At that time, I wanted to quit from my company, but I didn't. I did similar meeting with my supplier, with my employee side. Just I asked them, I will at half and you will at half, and this company will be grow more than 8 times again and again. Now this company grows more than 100 times. Just when you set goals and when you follow your goals, you can achieve whatever you want. Important thing is to write again and again until it becomes your reality. Please raise your hands if you have written your goals and dreams for next 5 years. Thank you. Please raise your hands if you don't have written your goals and dreams for next 5 years. Thank you. Please raise your hands if you have written your lifetime dream, your lifetime goals. Thank you. Yes, in real life, like Alice's case, we don't set goals. When we go from one place to another place, we are using Google Map or Yandex or anything else. But when it comes to in our life, we are not using anything. When you ask most of the people, they don't know where to go. If you don't know where to go, then there's no point which way you are going, like Alice's case. And my second point is how to respond to change instead of growth. Think about Nokia, Ericsson, BlackBerry, Blockbusters, Sears, Kmart, and Swiss watch industry. Even all they discovered technology, they discovered innovation, all they were trying to respond to growth. It was in front of them, but they couldn't be able to see because their ears and their eyes were so close. Even in your personal life or professional life, when you start to respond to change, growth will come by itself. Because everything is changing around us, whether we are aware of or not. Francis Bacon said, knowledge is the source of power. Today's development gurus, they are saying action is the source of power, like Tony Robbins, Robin Sharma, and so on. But when we look at Aristotle, he's saying, he said, excellence is the habit. So you have knowledge, you practice in the action. When you stabilize and when you try to respond to change, growth will come by itself. That's why we have chosen to go in our company to online shopping platform. We added exporting company inside it. So we try to respond to customers' needs and wants. My last point, how to go from I statement to we statement. All we are alone, all we born alone. All we are living alone at the end of today. Whatever you do, wherever you are, it doesn't matter. I have 8 years old son who is always playing Lego. He's crazy for Lego. And whenever we go, he's asking to me to buy Lego for him. And one day he asked me, why don't you sell Lego in your stores? I said to him, it's so expensive. No one could be able to buy from supermarkets. And he asked me, Dad, why don't you sell Lego in your online store? Then next day, we added Lego to our online stores. We added toys category. Now more than 10% of our sales revenue is coming from toys category. More than 5,000 people in our company, we couldn't be able to see the opportunity like 8 years kids to see the world. Think about Steve Jobs. If he didn't listen about Walkman to his daughter, today, most probably, we couldn't be able to aware of iPod, probably iPad, and most probably to iPhone. Just because of listening his daughter, he changed entire mobile industry. He did great revolution. So we need to listen our families or friends who is ready to support to us. I have another son. He is always playing digital games. And one day he told me, Dad, why don't you create your digital games? And I asked, what do you want? He told me like Superman, superhero, like Batman. It can go in front of shelves up and down. He can eat ice cream, chocolate, and biscuits, and so on. So we designed a game according to his opinion and his views. Now this game is downloaded more than 1 million times in Google Play and in App Store. It names APK. So more than 5,000 people, we couldn't be able to see opportunity like 10 years old to see the world. And we are giving a gift inside the game, small gifts like ice cream, chocolate, and biscuits. And kids they are bringing to families to buy more. And it is increasing categories purchasing. That is why Unilever was the sponsor of game, Nestle, Coca-Cola, and many international companies, they were sponsor of game. So just when you are listening to your kids, even you can create great value for your job, for your business, for your around. Today, we are living very difficult circumstances, especially Corona, because like earthquake, we lost our closer friends, or relatives, and many colleagues, just very short amount of time. So all we have deep down and down in our life. Just we need to stand up. We need to follow our dream. If you follow your dream will follow you. If you don't set goals for yourself, people around of you, they will set goals for you. Especially in the beginning of this summit, we had small technical issues about voices, about internet. So sorry for interrupting. Also, I would like to thank our president of Istanbul Chamber of Commerce, which he had great contributions to our summit. I would like to thank all of you for your great attendance and patience. Thank you so much. Have a great time. Just one thing, I would like to invite Lorraine. I have several startups. One of the most important startups for me is resumeselector.com. I would like to invite Lorraine. We met in Harvard Business School, program leadership and development. So we did together a platform, social media for employee and for companies. She will be giving much more details to us. Thank you so much. Lorraine. Yes, Lorraine, you can describe more.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you very much. It's very difficult to talk after you. So yes, as many of us, Mr. ALTUN and I have noticed the alarming negative impact of social media platforms in their current forms on their users, especially for minorities and young people. When we are listening to our friends, our children, Mr. YAVUZ's children, or nephews or cousins, the assessment of implications such as bullying is well documented. It shows us that being connected is not enough. The underlying need that is not yet served is the need to be fulfilled by their social interaction and by their work. How is it possible in a time of pandemic and also a moment of social distancing? The company we have built with Mr. YAVUZ ALTUN, resumeselector.com, will not only connect people in an inspiring way but they will help them determine their job abilities. It will recommend jobs that will fulfill them and an accurate network that may help them reach their full potential. And this is something that is very interesting at the moment, is how do you meet new people? How do you extend your network? As I was working in laboratories, the researchers, for example, they don't know how to connect to researchers in their field because there's no moment of randomly meeting new people. So that's why we have state-of-the-art algorithm that will recommend and connect you with the right people. This is a significant benefit for companies looking for top talents who will fulfill, thus, by highly engaged to make a difference, thus reducing turnover, headaches, and financial losses. I think my time is done, or can I continue?
Thank you so much, Lorraine, for your great contributions. I advise to all of our audiences to connect resume selectors to see, and all we want to create a platform to support each other because we are moving from very difficult times. All we need help and support, even all our great speakers, they need support and love in this life. Like Rob Ross, he said, love yourself and love your society. Thank you so much. Great contributions. Yes, Mrs. Neslihan.
Thank you, Lorraine, for everything. And I listened to you with pleasure. Thank you for everything you do. We will be together in the second session for a while. We appreciate you. See you soon again.